Hey, look, for me, I look at AI as the playing fields just evened up for everybody, right? Like everybody's completely even because just because you're a dynamic writer, I can use one of these AIs to catch up. Just because you're so detailed on how you run your business, I can use AI to catch up. Right. So the way I see it is like having a personal assistant. It's like having another brain. Shit. Right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the We Got Problems podcast with co-hosts Curtis G. Martin, Rhonda L. Brown, and Caliph Johnson Sr., the one and only podcast where solutions get discussed to our community's everyday troubles. Each week, you will hear mind-blowing conversations and actionable tips and strategies that you can implement in your daily life to become more effective. We got problems and we got solutions.
All right, you guys, welcome to the show. This is We Got Problems, the podcast where we discuss solutions. I'm Curtis G. Martin. I'm here with my co-host, Rhonda L. Brown.
Hey, everybody.
My other co-host, Caliph Johnson Sr.
Peace, y'all. How y'all doing?
And we got our new business partner on the call today, Miss LaChica Phillips.
Hey, hey.
Hey, guys, today we're going to discuss artificial intelligence and what it means for us and how can we use it to our advantage. Hey, guys, so look, how would you guys define AI in your own words?
I think for me, it would be anything automated.
So, okay, anything automated or something that's not natural, artificial. It's like intelligence that's created outside of the natural human creation atmosphere.
Okay. Mashika?
That is such a loaded question. How do you describe AI in your own words? Oh my goodness. Artificial intelligence, and I think that's the issue. It can be described so many different ways, right? But I think the most simplest way for me when I think about artificial intelligence, it would be digital or technical advancements for various industries. I don't even know if that makes sense, right? Because it can consist of an actual tangible artifact or apparatus, right? But then it can also be something that is not tangible, like we start talking about chat bots and codes. Now we start getting into something different. But I think at the most basic level, when I think about artificial intelligence, I immediately think about robots, right? So I think that if that is the premise, and I think a lot of people can really understand that, but it is deeper than just robots. So that's my loaded answer for that loaded question.
That's cool. No, that's good. Hey, look, for me, I look at AI as the playing fields just evened up for everybody, right? Like everybody's completely even because just because you're a dynamic writer, I can use one of these AIs to catch up. Just because you're so detailed on how you run your business, I can use AI to catch up. Right. So the way I see it is like having a personal assistant. It's like having another brain. Shit. Right.
Yeah.
So, what are some common misconceptions about AI?
I think that people automatically go, it's the Antichrist, it's the devil, right? Like it's the end of the world. It's like some of that stuff may be, but bad people can end the world without AI.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
I think a misconception is there are a couple that come to mind for me. One is that AI is complicated and that, everybody can't have access to it. Another misconception I always hear or I see is that AI is expensive, that only the elite really have access to it, right? So people may quote or reference Elon Musk or people like that, Bill Gates, right? So that it's only really reserved for those types of people. But what we're learning, like you said, it kind of levels the playing field, right? Because everybody has access to it. If you have access to email, Gmail, believe it or not, you have access to AI, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not expensive. I mean, it can be, But I mean, we have apps that we download for free, right?
Hmm.
The one
For
you
Right.
were
real.
talking about, stepping your writing game up, that was that chat. What's that? Tell us about that one,
GPT,
Curtis.
Chat
Hmm.
GPT, where you can write in a phrase, you can write in a sentence, describe it the best way you can, and you get different answers every time you describe it a little different, right? So it writes something out, and then you can take, like what I do now is quotes. I go for quotes, and then I take out what I need and add what I want to add in there. But it got me a start. It's almost having that, what they call it, a muse, somebody to
Mm,
get
News.
hmm
your creative spirits going, your creative juices going.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah, I think for me one of the misconceptions would be, you hear everybody say robots are going to take over the world. Like they're going to take your job, they're going to take over everything.
They
Like,
will.
I mean, they can do a lot of things, but there are some things that they will never be able to do.
True.
You're still gonna have those people in those technical positions, like, especially like you go to the doctor. Yeah, a robot might be able to tell you what's wrong, but they're not gonna have that personal touch. Like they're
That
not gonna be able
emotional
to think
side, yeah.
outside of the box. It's not. It's I don't. For me, I don't think it's gonna be.
So, how do y'all think the whole playing field has changed as far as business go, as far as using technology and AI? Y'all think there's been any like major changes? You said about the food industry, like taking jobs. Have y'all been in McDonald's lately where you don't have nobody there? You just got to go in there and press buttons. Y'all seen that? Or go to the Sam's Club and you got a machine driving around the store mopping the floor for you.
Yeah, I've at Sam's Club definitely can relate to taking advantage of the technology there, right? I love the idea, and Amazon stores. But I love the idea that I can go in. I don't even have to deal with people at all if I don't want to, and leave.
Self
With all my
checkout.
stuff paid for, it done. And because with Sam's they have this thing called scan and go. So you just pull out your cell phone, turn, the it recognizes the barcode, and so then it scans it for you. Your payment system is already connected to it, so as you're scanning, it's tabulating, what your expenses are. So you tell it when you're done. I'm done. You ready to check out? Yes, check out. Create my receipt. Bam, here's my receipt. I'm done. I'm
Hmm.
I'm out the door. I love seeing that. I think that it's kind of been slow for some businesses to adopt technologies just because of the misconceptions that we've just talked about. But I love seeing it in my day to day world like that. Absolutely.
Yeah, China already ahead of the game. I don't know if
Oh,
y'all remember one of the Ball brothers, right? When he went to China to play a basketball game with UCLA, and he walked in the store, and for some reason, one of them took some glasses, and I believe it was him. I don't know the full
Mello.
details, but
Jamello.
he uh, he
Jello.
took the glasses, and they
Hmm.
caught up with him later. Like, hey, bro, you took these glasses. Like everything was there to where it's watching you, right? Like
Hmm.
somewhere, I heard that they even scan your eyes at the airport, right? So they know who you
Hmm.
are. Like they say, your
wow.
retinas are like a fingerprint, right? So when you walk in the store, it automatically knows who you are. And then I started looking into it. A politician said he lost his laptop on a bike, and so everything getting charged. You charge them bikes, and then you drop the bike off. So he left his laptop on the bike. The guy that rented the bike next, they hit him up and say, "Hey, bro, you got that iPad? We need you to bring it over here to the embassy, or we will be coming to pick you up." He shot that iPad right over to the embassy, like, here you go. I
And
was
you
like,
said this was in China, Curtis?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
They
yeah.
using
So
AI
they
way
they
different.
own it, and a lot of people don't know Apple, right? I have an Apple card. I can go on Apple and do my own thing and just walk out the store. They
Hmm.
will say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. And Elon, he's been working on a whole new technology as far as integrating his AI with the actual world and your vehicles and your phone. He's been doing a lot
He
on
even talking
the
about
on.
putting a chip in your head. Shit.
Yeah.
He talking about putting a chip in your hand so you don't have to do nothing but
No,
scan
he's
everything
in
you
your
do.
brain. He want to put one in
Uh-huh.
your brain. Hey, but
See,
they
I don't
say
want
that's
none of
why
that.
he bought Twitter. That's why he bought Twitter, because of the data mining that Twitter has. Everybody feeding information into Twitter, and then he feed all that information into his AI system.
Definitely on the
So
journey.
where have y'all used AI in your business?
Ooh.
As a track coach, I don't necessarily have the time to calculate all of these times all over the country. So you know what I mean? I can just ask my AI what I need, and it can kind of like give me the information and just type it up in the PowerPoint, put it in the sheet, does everything for me. So all you got to do is ask for what you want, and the AI will do it for you. So I can't say that I haven't used it in making a couple grids as far as track goes.
Oh, that's good. Hey, so me, my social media posts, I put in there Chat GPT. Hey, write me a viral social media post about this, whatever I was talking about. And then it writes out me a little script. And then it even put some of the hashtags in there for me. It put three nice hashtags in there. And then sometimes, like I said, I take stuff out because it just don't go with what I was trying to say, right? But then I use that and it's easier for me to post now.
That's dope.
Okay. How about you, Sheikah?
I use technology every day, all day, through and through, for my business and for my career. So for my career as a director of equity, inclusion, diversity, and culture, I use a lot of technology to help ensure equity in, I would say, maybe the hiring process and some of the things that we do within the organization. So for instance, there are web apps, there are tools that you can copy and paste a job description into this tool, and then this tool will generate or let you know what words in there you should probably stay away from. It will also let you know if the job description is not gender neutral, right? Like, helps you to stay away from terms like guru. That's not a term we should be using in a job description, right? Because when you think of a guru, unfortunately, the first thing comes to mind is a man, right? So, in terms of creating job descriptions, there are tons of AI for that. Um, in my career as well as with my business, I love using AI to help with scheduling. So within on the career side, it's like sometimes you have to schedule meetings with like over 30 or 40 people. And if you can imagine trying to figure out a best time for every single person without having to send all these emails, right? Where there is, I love this app. I mean, I love this tool, this AI. It's Cortana. If you've not used it, I'm sure you've probably seen it, but I can just say Cortana, find the next available date for all of us, and it'll go. It may say, give me a minute, whatever, and it'll go. And I don't have to worry about that. That's saving me so much time, right? So there's so many other ways that I use tech. I mean, oh, another way I love. Okay, let me just share this one because I absolutely love this. Talk about AI at its finest. So I know everybody's familiar with Zoom,
Mhm.
but did you know that there are like, what do you want to call it? They're like extra plugins that you can incorporate into Zoom to just expand your experience, if you will. So there is an app within Zoom called Fathom, Fathom. So with Fathom, yeah, Rhonda's laughing like, I know she is. I've been on the
Pause
meeting
on
with
the
her talking
call.
about Fathom, but basically, it's when you want to take notes, but you want to focus and pay attention, right? So that's my issue. I was like, I need something that can take notes for me, but I can't hire staff. What can I do?
Mm-hmm.
And I read this article. This guy, he suffered with anxiety in terms of taking notes and being focused. I think he even said he was diagnosed attention deficit disorder. So he wanted to find something that can help with that. So he created this Fathom app. So it allows you to focus, pay attention to your Zoom, and the AI is automatically taking notes for you. What's even better about that is because while the AI is taking notes for you, and let's say Curtis is talking in the Zoom, and Curtis, he says, "Oh, Lashika, I think next week we should play in that golf tournament for the nonprofit." I said, oh, okay. So what I can do is I can just let my Fathom know with the click of a button, hey, highlight this for me for next steps, or highlight this for me for something I need to tell Rhonda about. So I'm using it. I'm using technology all the time, but you should definitely check out Fathom, the one you said, Chat GPT, all of them. I mean,
Hey,
it's
we're gonna have to get that one on a after dark call and get
Right.
everybody to work in
We
that one
Fathom.
used
because
it
I
on
need that.
we've
I
used it
love
on
it.
After Dark, haven't we?
No, but I'm talking about so I can know how to use it when
Oh, you want a class on it?
yeah, yeah. I want a class on
Got you.
it.
We can do
Oh
that. We can
man, that's
definitely do
hilarious.
that.
Okay,
Right.
so
So for me, I like for like editing, there's different programs because I used to just do it by myself. Like my eyes, like that's what I would use. So
me
then
too.
I started using like Grammarly and stuff like that to kind of help out. But I know recently, I just went on a trip. And everybody heard about the thing with Southwest, the whole like plane didn't get their luggage.
Hmm.
And so I was like, oh, I do not want to lose my luggage. So I went and got air tags
Mm.
and I put one in my luggage and I put one in my backpack.
Yeah.
And that actually helped because I'm like, all right, if I lose my luggage and they can't find it, I'm still going to be able to find it, and
Hmm.
I'll get it back sooner, you know?
Why is my luggage in Chicago and I'm in LA?
Yeah, that was brilliant though,
Yeah, yeah.
Rhonda. That was cool. You have to make sure you share the link to where you got those.
Oh yeah, I got
Right.
some. I got some for my wallet because I was always misplacing my wallet.
Right.
Oh,
And I know
Put
that,
one in my wallet.
some people use them for, tracking other people, but they now have this have this thing on the app to where if there's because I when I got the AirTag, I had to register it to me.
uh-huh,
Hmm.
uh-huh.
So whoever is using it is registered to them.
Well, see, but that's
So
a whole different type of
Wow.
hacker right there. He gonna make it to where he got a throwaway phone. He gonna make it where he got a throwaway account because what they was doing here in L.A. when you valet your car, they put an air tag in it. Then they come to your
oh,
house.
Hmm.
They follow you
see,
around and come to
Wow.
your house and they rob you. So that's how they was doing down here in L.A. right now.
I know they're trying to there's people trying to, get them to do away with air tags. I think it's a brilliant idea, but
Yeah,
you're always going to have them people out there using stuff for,
misusing it. Yeah.
yeah,
Good technology in bad people's hands is always
Yeah.
going to be a problem, and it's not the
mhm,
technology's fault that
That's with
it's
anything
there.
though.
That's
That's
so
with
true.
anything.
mhm,
So, so where do y'all see AI heading in the future?
Ooh, that's
mm.
rough.
Because y'all done seen all the movies, y'all done seen the
what
Terminators, y'all
what
done seen the Matrix, y'all done seen all the movies. This is one of the biggest concerns about AI for
I,
me. You know
I
what I
I
mean? Where
can
it's
tell
going.
you, I can tell you, life will be easier, but we can't just use the ease of it. Like I think when I first introduced the car, I said, how can we use it to our advantage? Don't let
Mm.
it just be a crutch for everything, right? Like we
Hmm.
sitting there, turn the heater on, and that's all we using it for, right? Turn the lights on, right? No, when Trash did that, I said, man, I got to have a house like that. So now I'm Alexa, turn the living room lights on, right? I love that. But how about help me with
Alexa,
this
go turn it.
equation? Help me with
Mhm.
this task that I need to do. Okay, how can I make my community better? Something that'll give me some insight on something because AI done looked at everything on the internet to bring me some information. And then now I say this suits my community, right? Like use
Mhm.
it to our advantage. If not, then that's when shit takes us over or bad people step in and take over us.
I think we will start to see more AI in the medical field. I know what you were saying, Rhonda and Curtis. You kind of piggybacked on that, talking about that emotional aspect, and I totally get that. But I think about when we think about the future of AI, you also have to think about the future of the people. And I
Mhm.
can
Hmm.
honestly say that humanity really it has evolved and changed over time. Whereas if you can remember your grandparents talking about, their experiences with their doctors. The doctors came to the house. They probably went to church with them, know each other families. It's a totally different time. So that what they call, I don't even know if I even hear this word anymore, bedside manner. When was the last time you heard that term, right? But that was
Mm-hmm.
that was common, that was normal, that was standard back then. And I think because of technology, because of social media, I think that we, a society, as well as the medical field, really have gone away from that, what we know as bedside manner. So when I think about the future of I think we will see more AI or like robotic interaction when we go to visit a doctor, or will we even go to a doctor anymore? Will we just log on somewhere, enter in some information, like you said, use our retina, look into something, and then they spit out a diagnostic? Like, because I think that while we're thinking about the future of AI, people who are in AI are thinking about the future of the people, right? And so I started thinking about prosthetics, right? The way that AI can really advance that. So I
Really
think it can
advanced.
go a lot of ways. I can see, like I said, I can see us being really heavily dependent upon AI, but I also can see that we will have established communities that maybe don't want that, because I can
Mm-hmm.
imagine that there are some communities that would say, yeah, I want to go to a doctor. I want to talk to a human. That's a perfect example going into the grocery store. I'm one of those people, I don't want self checkout. I want to go through a line. I need you to take this stuff for me. You're going to bag the stuff we made or may not speak, but I need a human. So it's
Mm-hmm.
everybody has their preferences, right? But I think we are going to see more dependence on AI. I
But
really do.
Mike, I have a question. It's off topic. Is that a good thing? Is that a good thing that we might be dependent more on AI, or is it a bad thing? Do
I
we
think it
lose some of our
depends, right?
independence? Do we lose, like Kurt said, do we lose some of our independence by depending on technology too much? And then we come to a point where we lose, you know how they say you don't use it, you lose it?
Yes.
Well, the thing of it is like, for me, don't just give me the answer. I still want to know how you got to that answer,
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, so write it out for me. Don't just spit out an answer for me. Now I'm still learning as I go. Right. So
Uh-huh.
I think long as we're learning, once we stop learning, that's what we said, getting too comfortable with AI. Once we stop learning, then that's where we taking over, right? But we have to, like, I think too, I wanted to make a point on too much AI. No, there's gonna be times where I want a place to go where it's no AI. Where I
Yes.
can just go enjoy. That's gonna be the new thing where I can just go
Yes.
unwind, right? Paradise, so to speak, right? I can just
Love
hey,
it.
right? I
Mm-hmm.
got
Hey,
somebody bringing me a drink. Hey, how you doing, man? I missed that, right? So,
Yes.
there's gonna be a generation that never smelled a flower, right? To where
Wow.
if we follow the movie narratives the way shit always going, because my mother always said, "Oh man, we used to listen to boxing matches on the radio." And we used to go down to other people's house that had a radio because everybody didn't have radios. And
Uh-huh.
then
Mm-hmm.
everybody got a TV. Then you got a colored TV, right? So things have evolved, right? So
now we
it's
got
going to
flat
keep evolving.
screens.
But at some point, do we want to, like, people that live off the grid, right? I
Off the
I,
grid.
I want to go to that place one day and just chill. So
Them some
somebody that's living
so
off the grid go, man, I hate these old city people coming down here, right? Like, we go to chill. Well, they should have got rid of all that shit back then. Now they want to come down here, right? This our vacation. This is where we vacationing at, off the grid, right?
Right. I love that.
all of our
Right.
indigenous people.
But
So go ahead.
Curtis, you were saying that you still want to learn the process, but there's a lot of people that don't. They just ask the question and go.
That that,
Well,
that to
you
me, that's
already know
horrible.
it is horrible, but it's a whole generation of people that
Of
do
horrible
that.
people.
They
That's
don't want to learn how to do it. Why? If they can have somebody tell them how to do something or what the answer is, that's less work for them.
Yes, no,
Yeah.
some people don't question nothing. Like I had it just yesterday. We went to Pomona, and my buddy beat me there. I was like, they were like, "Oh man, what took you so long? We 30 minutes in." I like, "Oh shit, I'm cool, man. I don't." It tell me to get off the freeway for what? You know what I mean? It's gonna give me a couple extra minutes. I get it, but no, it don't make sense to me. I'm staying hit this route, right? To save some
Mm-hmm.
time, I'm gonna go ahead and listen to AI. But sometimes I want to see my focus on where I'm going, right? I want to know where I'm going, right? Not blindly going.
Mm-hmm.
Ways and took me some down some back streets and some sticks before, but it didn't save some
It's still
time.
quick, it save you, but at the same time, really, where are you going? Or do they know about them potholes, right? Like,
Hmm.
you know what I'm talking about? So I
Do they
know
know
this
this
is
is
the
a
safest
dangerous
route for
neighborhood?
me seeing it. Now I go down one of these back streets that Wade's sending me to, and these dudes jack everything that come down the block, right? Like, so that type of
They
stuff.
don't know 100. Hey,
Hmm.
Waze don't know 107 is a hot spot over here.
Yeah.
So it's gonna send me through the battlefield. You go
Yeah,
down
yeah,
Bradfield, you make that right on Killing. It might not end well for you, sir.
yeah,
So Waze
yeah.
might not know the best way to get through the neighborhood. You might need to stick to
and,
the
and,
east.
and it probably will catch up though. You know what I'm talking about? As AI
Mm-hmm.
always gets smarter, like Elon Musk said something about his cars. You remember his cars was having accidents and people were saying, "Oh no, these cars ain't safe." He said another bit. Every time that car have an accident, they go in and tweak. It will never have that same accident again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? One of the ones they had was a Tesla was behind a truck, and the beam was up high on the back of the truck, some pipes, and it jabbed through the car. The car didn't stop because it didn't see him.
Mm.
Right? So that
Oh.
accident now will never happen. They got it to where it can see up there now. Didn't think we needed to see in the air, right? But we
Mm-hmm.
do.
And then
Yeah.
on top of that, you seen them Teslas that just been taking off and accelerating, not being able to stop.
Yeah.
Th-
There's a bug in
Hey,
the system.
hey, last thing you want
Yeah.
somebody to do is hack your car and you sitting there wondering how it happened and where you going.
Yeah, I worry about that too, but they're gonna make it mandatory to go to all electric because I was always thinking, man, I'm gonna keep me an old Chevy, something
2035.
that don't have all that, right? Give me an old Chevy, something that don't have all that technology in when I want to be off the grid. I can leave my phone
Uh-huh.
somewhere. I'm just riding, it's just me in the car.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Wow.
because you won't have that pretty soon.
Yes.
So, staying on task, can we discuss the ethical concerns surrounding AI, particularly regarding job displacement and privacy? Can we talk about that? Let's talk about how many jobs is gone because of AI. And is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? I seen one the other day where it was a hot dog making machine. And it was supposed to be taking a hot dog, put it in a bun, sticking it in a wrapper, and set it in a thing. And you're supposed to just be able to get it fully automated. But the hot dog didn't make the bun. The bread fell someplace else. It ended up just putting a hot dog in a piece of paper and set it up for sale, and that was what it was. So it's not always working, but that was somebody's job who actually did that about a couple years ago. So you got this expensive machine that you don't have to pay, but now this person who was taking care of their family doing this job don't have an opportunity to take care of their family no more because the computer took it away. Is that ethical?
Hey, so I think it goes to I can't really speak for ethical or not because if I'm a business person, I'm trying to do the best thing for my business, right? But and that's with anybody. Now, do we have compassion for people that need jobs? Yeah, but somewhere we got to teach different to our families, right? Like we got to teach our families how to be business people, how to use this AI to our advantage. Again, that's how we started, right? Like if we
Mm-hmm.
like now we can talk about everybody that work a 9 to 5 that won't out. Our families never taught us about business, right?
Hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's mandatory now that we teach about business. So now we can have AI, right? Like, or and not just creating. So something I did, I was looking up black inventors, and when I looked up black inventors, most of them were doctors.
Hmm.
No matter what they invented, they were doctors. So it goes back to us talking about that education and what we're going to learn. Sometimes we have to go to some of these schools to get in certain fields, and then we have a certain thought process behind doing certain things, and then we build things like being engineers, right? Like my daughter told me she wanted to be an architect, and I was like, baby, that's beautiful. You can like I'm gonna turn her on to green cities, right? Like that's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be the future for her generation. How to make a
Hmm.
green city even better, right? Like I'm gonna get
Yeah.
her some CAD software, right? So we have to teach this stuff and not just the basketball. Like she got a basketball in her hand too, but not
Yeah.
just a basketball. You got this CAD software, you got this Chat
Right.
GPT software, right? And teaching you how to use it to
Mm-hmm.
your advantage.
Yeah, I think the other thing too, Curtis, when you were looking up Black inventors, you probably also noticed that most of them were also in agriculture, heavily in agriculture. If they weren't farming or owned land, they were heavily involved with creating and inventing the machinery behind it. Right. So I think that again, it seems like it goes right back to what you're saying, right? Because we coming up again, think about when you were growing up, think about when your folks were coming up. There was such an emphasis in being in nature, being in the ground, being in the dirt. But I think that's where a lot of the creativity comes from too, right? As kids. So as you're talking about getting your
Mm-hmm.
daughter involved with the technology, the same thing, get them involved with the dirt, with the earth, while they're getting some creative juices flowing, while they're doing that. But I think it starts at that age, what you're talking about, Curtis. It definitely does.
Yep. I
So
have a friend that always talks about at his kitchen table, they didn't talk about certain things, right? Like he was in the fire department, and he said that when he went to the fire department, they discussing property deals, they discussing investment deals. He like, whoa, this different. We didn't never talk about this. Oh yeah, my parents, when we would eat, they would tell us about this. So I make sure I teach
Mhm.
my kids about credit. I make sure I teach them about property, about things that they need to invest in. Like automatically, they get from watching TV, what kind of car you want? First thing they say is Bentleys, Porsches, and right, they want all the expensive stuff. And it's funny, man. I've been driving around in a little Buick, right? It's a newer one, a little small, little something, and I'm loving that little car, man. Ain't no attention. I just get to move around the city, and I'm cool. I can get in little small spaces, right? So sometimes the things we talk about with our kids is going to shape them for the future.
Mhm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
so let's wrapping this up, right? Can we discuss the and ensure that they're gonna develop AI responsibly? Can we ensure that the development of the AI? How can we ensure that the development of the AI is safe?
You can't do that. What
Right.
are you talking about? I
Because
don't. What's your
you seen the
question?
Terminator.
To ensure,
I'm
how
thinking
do
I'm
we?
thinking about the Terminator and the Matrix. My
So you know
mind always
what?
go back to movies. Like
Okay, so
when you see the Terminator.
the
Go
way
ahead.
to answer your question, I think it goes back to one of Curtis' point. It's going to be trial and error. The same way that those cars, he was saying, it will never have that accident again. That's how you make technology safe. There, and if somebody tells you, "Oh, we have figured out a way to make technology AI safe for everybody," steer clear.
They lying.
They
Steer
got
clear.
these
Why do
self-thinking
we have stuff
machines
called
though.
cybersecurity?
Yeah.
We have self-thinking machines that are running our country as we speak. And who's to say that it ain't get smarter than us? Obviously, we designed it to be smarter than us. That's why we designed it to help us out. But now it's surpassed us, and it might get mad.
So if you do some research on it, they have had where AI killed everybody in the room. I think a couple of times. Some of them handling guns. To where AI starts shutting down certain equipment, start speaking their own language. Right.
See?
So they're gonna do this stuff, but somewhere there probably was some trial and error. Some mad scientist, let me see if it can do this. Let
Mm-hmm.
me try this.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then it takes off. Right. So that's when you still have bad people, or that, like Lashika said, that trial and error. I think we can't test it because once somebody, right, like, think, I'm gonna bring it to credit, and I don't know how I did this, but so with credit repair, right? Everybody didn't learn the system. It was a fail-safe system that we knew once we had bad credit, we just wait 7 years and then it clear up. But
Okay.
now it's certain things you can do and certain letters you can send, and the way they respond, then now I got them in a loophole. So once we figure AI out like that, we still use the same way. AI, write me a viral social media post, and then the
Mm-hmm.
fucker goes viral,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, all of them don't, but it got close to something doing good. So we're gonna figure out ways to use anything, right? Like it's
Yeah.
even
Mm-hmm.
with muscles, they figure out, hey, if I take this type of shake, I get stronger, right? Then somebody say, hey, no, that type of shake is illegal, right? right? Because it just
Patient,
things evolve, right?
Uh-huh.
So we're
Hmm.
gonna use AI to our advantage every time. Somebody gonna find a loophole somewhere,
Yeah,
and then
always.
we gotta always fix it.
Yeah. Now
See,
that's a good question because I mean it's not possible. As long as humans are responsible for programming the robots or the AI, there's always going to be an issue. We are looking at we're looking at issues even within the space of equity, inclusion, diversity, and culture, because right now there are so many gaps when AI and Black people or brown people. Because if you were to go take some medical test and, based on your pigmentation, it can't read your skin when it scans you, right? So they're still trying to uncover ways to bridge those gaps in technology that are really biased. So I think we'll always have that.
Hmm.
all right, Trash. So sound like you closed it out, my brother. So let's do this. Trash, what do you want to leave the people with about AI?
hey, do your research and be very, very safe with how you move with it. You know, it's out there. Be safe. You know what I mean? Don't sit there and put yourself in a bad position thinking that it's gonna save you.
All right, Rhonda, leave the people with something about AI.
Don't be scared of it,
All right,
but
that's
don't
good.
depend on it too much either. Like, use your common sense.
There we go. All right, Lashika, what are you gonna leave the people with
Well,
AI?
I gotta say, common sense ain't common.
I know, but
And then I was saying, my last words about this would be don't be afraid. Test it, try it out. Find an area in your life or in your business where you're like, I could use an extra hand or another set of eyes and see what technology and tools are out there to help you accomplish whatever that said thing is. And if I can add one more thing, I say join us every Tuesday after dark. I mean, because
Hmm.
we are diving into AI, technology, chat bots. I mean, all the things technically related. So hope you join us there.
All right, you guys, we got problems, but we also have solutions, and we out.
From the team at CRC Empire, we want to thank you for listening. To stay connected with us, like, share, and subscribe to the We Got Problems podcast. You can find us on social media platforms at Curtis Martin 247, at Rhonda Wrights Official, and at the_trash_vegan_. We got problems and we got solutions.